Hi everybody, I'm Donna from Purple Pinky Promises. Thanks for joining me today. It's been quite a while since we've done a project over here, so it feels good to be back. And I'm going to be featuring this cute little Panda Party stamp set and dies, and also this wonderful window die set in this cute little card today. Right here I'm showing you all of these wonderful colors that I've used from Altenew, and all of them will be listed in the description below after this video is posted. So first up, I'm just coloring this banner, and I'm using all of the colors that they don't exactly match, but they coordinate well, and they pick up and highlight those colors in that background that I'm going to be using. Right here I'm showing you that I am using this color to just, it's a gray, it's called Silver, I think it's called Silver Lake, and it's a gray color so that we don't lose the lines and features of his eyes. We're going to color them a gray color. And this is a very simple coloring. I'm not highlighting, I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing a straight color on both the banner and the panda. And here I'm showing you that how I got those flowers over there on the left. I took my markers, I did a swatch of color, and I die cut my flowers from them. It was a whole lot easier than coloring them individually one by one. And now I'm taking my Spellbinders Acetate, and I am just going around the edges very carefully with glue so nothing oozes out. Same thing with this frame on the window that is going to be inlaid into that window. We don't want anything to ooze out. So we're just carefully getting glue with our Barely Art glue. It's so easy to do. All you got to do is get that little thin line of glue on there and you don't have any oozing. Love that glue. It's awesome. Okay, so next we're going to put these curtains on, and we are going to get just the edge there. Very, very thin line of glue on the edge to prevent from any kind of oozing. I do want to tell you that if you have a gap on your curtains with this die, make sure your gap is at the bottom. Windows typically, or curtains in windows, you would typically have the gap at the bottom and not at the top. So make sure that if you do have a gap, see that gap? I moved it up to make sure that gap was at the bottom and not at the top. There might be just a smidgen of a gap, but that's how curtains lay, okay? All right. So then we put in our little panda. Same thing that we did with the curtains. We're just going to put a little bit of glue right there, down there at the bottom. No oozing. And because we don't want that glue to show on the other side, we just want our little panda to sit in the window and make sure that he looks great. And now we're going to put in that background piece that I have cut there. First, we're going to put our banner on. And I messed with this and fussed with this, and I didn't like how it just covered things up. That window die set is so beautiful, and I have to tell you that there are so many options with it. I love what they did over at Sunny Studio and gave you options with that window set. So I just chopped off that last piece of the banner because it was the same color as the first one, and I just decided I want that to go at the top. I don't really want to cover up. I don't want to cover up my window because it looks so nice. But we do want a birthday celebration showing that we're celebrating a birthday. So I just decided at the top would be the least obstructive place to put it. So here I am going in here on the paper parts and around the edges to get this background on there. I measured just like probably 1/8 of an inch less on my width of this die to see how to basically to decide how wide I wanted it to be, and then of course from top to bottom it's not a big deal. Now here I'm showing you how I did the hinge. So that hinge, actually each piece measures 1 3/16 of an inch by 3 inches, and you're going to score each of those at 1/4 of an inch. So, and then once you score them and you're going to place them on the scored hinge part on the back side of that window. And just to let you know, that fits. It should fit right there in that little piece right below the molding, the last bit of molding at the top and right before the base of that window. That hinge will fit. And then you just pop it on there, making sure that your hinge works. You don't want to go too far because then it won't open, won't move very well. So that's basically what I did, was get that on there just like that. And of course, my bone folder is from Lawn Fawn, best bone folder ever. I love it. It doesn't leave marks on your paper when you use it. It's fantastic. Okay, now each of these frames, I die cut 4 of them, and I put the inlay pieces in there on each shutter. Now it will be flush at the top and flush at the bottom, but should be centered in there and not too close to your hinge so that it doesn't impede the opening and closing of it. So I didn't show you the whole process on this part. I only showed you this first one, and then at the end, just basically showing you that I did the inside and the outside. Next, we have this adorable planter, window planter. And I love how all of the details on this were included to give this top part of this planter some dimension. You could use different colors. And the same thing goes with that shutter. You could actually inlay different colors on your shutter. I just decided to go simple both on this planter and on the window dies. I decided to go simple and just do black, or excuse me, to do white cardstock. Now, here I'm going to show you this whole piece and how I did this and how I put this together. I'm going to show you every flower from start to finish. I'm not going to fast forward through this because I think there might be some people that might be interested in how I put it together. So basically what I did was I went from the back side for my leaves on most of them. Some of them I put on the front. And the front side is the flower. So just making those flowers hang over the edge of the planter and getting those centers in there. You will need a gem pecker for this, although I think I basically gave up on the gem pecker with my leaves and my flowers at some point and just picked them up myself. But on those centerpieces, you will definitely need a gem pecker. This flower gets tucked in behind the first flower just to kind of give it a realistic look. Tucking in my glue right there and just laying it down and moving right along. I do want to tell you guys, I actually went back to look and see how long it had been since I had posted an uploaded video, and it was mid-September. That was right before we moved into our storefront downtown here in Platte City. My schedule, my interpreting schedule hasn't been very conducive to social media posts. So I've just stuck with one live video every Thursday right after the store closes. And it just has only worked out for that. But my schedule has changed at the beginning of this year. And I think I've freed up my schedule to upload a video once a week. So that's my goal. I'm going to try to get a video uploaded for you guys weekly again. And we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Let's hope it works out. And we're just continuing this process of putting these flowers on. If you are not interested in watching all of this, you can fast forward. This is a good place to fast forward. I do enjoy doing the uploads for people because I do know that some of you enjoy the detailed, you're avid crafters and you really enjoy the details that are given for these videos. They would typically be longer to do a live, but I've sped them up so that you can just basically get the gist of the project and not have to sit so long through a live. But some of you are still possibly beginners and still need that detailed information. So on things that I think that you might want some information, I'll keep those things in here. Those of you who don't need it can fast forward. I believe this was the point at which I decided I was going to start placing some leaves in the front, and I knew I was getting close to the end, so I needed to make sure that I figured out where things were going to balance out. So I decided to put that leaf there showing, okay, that's going to be my end point, and it's going to balance out at the same place, left to right, essentially, or close to it. It's also easier to not have to tuck in. It shows more greenery in between those leaves on the flower. And then these last two leaves, yeah, I just use my fingers and I'm just picking them up and popping them on, and not afraid of that glue because it's a no mess glue. It's fantastic. Works great. And right here, I thought, I might want to add some more depth and layers of flowers, but then I decided, nope, I'm happy with the way things are. Let's finish this off. I do want to tell you, there are smaller flowers in this set. You could actually end up popping those in between. That would have been cute. But I just thought, this looks cute, just like it is. Doesn't really necessarily need it. You might beg to differ, so you could add those little tiny flowers in there. Okay, we're getting our card front on our card base. This card front measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we're just going to put our window on the front, centered as best as we can, leaving room for that planter and our sentiment that's going to go below that. So here's our planter. You could tuck that underneath there if you wanted to, but I felt like it needed to go there so that when the windows are closed, it doesn't go over the flowers, because it might, that paper might actually leave a little impression. If you were to mail it, it might leave a little impression on your shutters. Okay, I have lined my sentiment up in a stamping device. Stamped it twice because I wanted to have a bold sentiment. It looked good. It looked fine, but I just wanted it to be bolder. And then these little images have been stamped from the Panda Party stamps and cut out with the Panda Party dies. Same color of markers that I showed you earlier to color these in. And just fadaddling with them to see where I want them to go. This sentiment strip actually comes from the ribbon and lace border dies, and I saw Mindy at Sunny Studio use her strip as a sentiment, and I thought, what a great idea. She said it was actually because she was trying to cover up a mistake, but I thought, well, that's still a fantastic way to use these strips. So I thought, I'm going to do that. I just thought it looked great. So thanks, Mindy, for that little tip. And I thought, this needs a little more. So I also saw that she was using these lace borders along with this strip. I thought, well, that's great. I am going to get that on there. And I did cover up that top dot because I just didn't want it to come down too far. I wasn't sure where we were from top to bottom. So I just decided I'm just going to move it down a little bit more to make sure that it doesn't go too far to the bottom. So, and I'm kind of glad I did. I feel like it lined up just the way I wanted it to. So it is cut from side to side at 4 inches to line up exactly with that background card front piece. Okay, we're not done. We have some shimmer and shine this card needed. It needed some gems. So I put just a teeny weeny little bit of Verily Art glue on each center, just a teeny weeny bit, because, they sit here in the store, people pick these things up and they look at them. And it is interactive, so I'm not putting it in a sleeve to cover and protect it. I just decided, it's probably best that we get that reinforced. And those are the Crystal Mix Essential Gems from Spellbinders. And don't they just make this so shiny? I just love it. It just gives it that perfect shimmer of bling that it needed. And that's it, folks. We're done. Thanks for stopping by. I certainly appreciate all that you do to help support our little business over here. Whether you give us a like, whether you leave a comment, whether you come in and stop by the store to make a purchase, or just stop by and say hello to us, or make a purchase online. Any way that you come and support us, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. Have a blessed rest of your day and week. Bye-bye.